Hi. Hope everyone's okay and they've had a lovely day. I thought I'd give it a rest yesterday because it was a year since the first lockdown, so minute silence and stuff. So I thought I'd leave my rants off for a day, so you could think about all the people that we've lost. Yeah. So I was praying yesterday for everybody. So I hope everyone's okay. The world's just gone nuts. I mean, there's no if buts around about it. It's just like full on nuts. I can't even watch the news anymore, which is a shame because I really like the presenters, and it's not their fault because they're obviously just given a script. But yeah, I just can't watch it. I can't watch the lies. It upsets me immensely. But I spent a lot of time in the garden today. I just went and lay out on the grass, just staring up at the sky. Kind of just asking the universe for guidance, I suppose. And also just staring up at the sky, it's quite magical really, isn't it, if you think about it? And then looking at the clouds, like, wow, what are they? Like, it's quite amazing. The world's just quite a magical place, really. If you think about it in those terms, just how everything naturally works and is. And we just abuse it. So I was thinking about, I've done posts on this before, so I'm repeating myself as per usual. But I saw a video, and I couldn't even click on it because Bill Gates just is the spawn of the devil, and I just couldn't even bring myself to watch it. The title of the video was along the lines of new technology that we need to stop climate change. Here's the thing. We already have the technology. So if you want to talk about pollution in the sea, we've already got the technology to suck away the plastics in the ocean. So why isn't that being used everywhere? If you want to talk about air pollution, we've already got the technology to they've built these huge pillars that basically recycle the air and suck out all of the toxic pollutants and stuff. We've already got that. So why isn't that everywhere? We've got carbon capture technology to put onto diesel and petrol cars if we wanted to. So why isn't that on every car? We've got electric cars. I mean, I know that people, but at the end of the day, there is the technology there. So either you can use an electric car, you can use an EcoBus, you can put a carbon capture thing on your lorry or your van or your car. So that already exists. We can There's a report that just came out about fishing, and fishing actually, because the way that trawlers work, it sort of dredges up the seabed, which releases carbon. And I'll put a link into it, like I always do. But if they didn't trawl over so much of the ocean, then that that percentage of the ocean would recover and actually spill over, and it means that the bit that they were trawling on would have 6 million more tons. So they actually have more from fishing on less. So so that's the air, that's the water, yeah, that's the logistics, carbon. Okay, talking about power. We don't need nuclear power. We don't need all these. You've got electromagnetic power. You've got hydropower, as in from the sea. You can use it. There's technology that exists that's used in America. And I've done a post about this as well months ago. That the chemical, from the pressure, if you use deep sea pressure, you can turn that has an energetic reaction, and that can be turned into electricity. So why isn't that being used everywhere? Like that can be, you can have a power station like that on every coast using that technology, rather than other technologies that produce greenhouse gases. Like, why are we still using fossil fuels? There is alternatives. Why are we still producing plastic? Why are we still using plastic when there are alternatives? We're our own worst enemy. The technology is already there. We don't need to spend loads more money on new technologies and do this whole capitalist shit. It is already in existence. It has been for a long time. All we need to do is use the technology that is already in existence and just replicate it everywhere, so that it just doesn't make any sense to me. The reason they're not doing it is because the people are making too much money. It's back to the same old. People are so fucking greedy. That's all they care about. That's all they care about is greed. It's money. They do not give a fuck the effect that they are having on the planet and the people and the animals. And it's just bureaucracy. It's corruption. It's just from every level to keep it that way. And the technology is already there. All it takes is for each and every person to just choose a better choice. It's better for everybody, everywhere. Because ultimately it's going to affect you anyway at some point. Or your children. We just need to do better. We just need to be better. So yeah, I've got some, ultimately, in my mind, this is not the world that I want to live in. That's not saying I want to live. I'm living free as I am. I'm happy as I am. But this what is going on is not a world that we should want for any of our children. It's not a world that we should want for ourselves. It's just not. It's just, and it's not. It's most certainly not the world that I envisage. Anyway, it's not the world that's in my mind of what I know that's achievable. And all it takes is for everyone to believe and just have faith, and whatever faith, that it can change, that we can change. We've made it this far, you know? We're warriors already. We've made it this far. So we're so strong, stronger than probably anyone gives themselves credit for. We don't need to fight amongst ourselves. When we can use that, we just don't need to. It's not real. It's not who we are, really. Because don't we all just want a better place where we can just be free? If we could just focus on that, rather than things we've been told to argue about or told to hate each other for, or they're just not real. We're all just humans. We all make mistakes. We all have baggage of one description or other. And it impacts who you are as a person. And it can make you do things that you don't mean, and it can make you say things you don't mean, it can make you act in a way you don't mean. But we all make mistakes. You know, I was watching this thing about going on the financial system again. These things, it's called the Panama Papers. I'm going to put all the links in from the Coin Bureau, who is hilarious, by the way. And the Panama Papers was basically a massive data leak, and it uncovered a vast extent of corruption within the financial industry, named and shamed many a bank, many a law firm, many a billionaire for their tax evasion, hidden wealth, and money laundering. And there's $30 trillion. There's $30 trillion hidden in tax havens by people around the world. And the thing with this is, and most of it's in the British Virgin Islands. Of course it is. Of course it's going to be in the British Virgin Islands. That woman's got to go. Like, there's just no if, buts, or ands about it at this point. Like, she is the devil, isn't she? Like, look at the damage the creation of the empire has done over the years, over the hundreds of years, over the thousands of, like, there's so much. I mean, just history itself, and then if you add in all of the extra evidence on just the paedophilia, the occultism, the satanic stuff, the child traffic, just all of it, and she's just literally sucking the soul out of the world. That's what it feels like. Sucking the soul out of the world. And you can't even deny it. I just don't even. Why is. How, they must have known for so long and they've not said anything. All these organisations, all these organisations that we trusted, to look after us, that we trusted to look after our children. That we trusted to look after our money. And they just let it go on. So, yeah. Just feeling a bit, I don't know what the word would be. Reflective, maybe. Still maybe on a bit of a reflective note from yesterday. Now they're trying to pressurize people into getting these passports, these vaccination passports, saying that you might need one if you need to go to the bloody pub, even. Like, what the fuck? Nah. People do what they want. There's not a fucking chance of getting me to have one. No ways. Anyway, so I'm going to put in a link to these videos about the Panama Papers, which will tell you all about the complete corruption within the financial system and how they manipulate the market. I also put in a link to how they manipulate the market with regards to commodities, because, for example, certain people own the entire market, but then they'll start up shell companies to make it look like there is a market when in fact only one person owns it, and they're just pretending. So then they're price bidding and price warring against themselves just to put the price up. Do you get me? Diamonds is an example. Wait until you watch this thing on diamonds, yeah? Fuck me. Wow. De Beers. You did well, didn't you? Wait till you watch this video. Diamonds weren't even a thing. They were like, diamond originally, They had no value. They were just the same as any other gem. And then De Beers bought every diamond mine. They're geniuses, really. But they completely manipulated the market and got into the psyche of every person everywhere. And they used them. They used an amazing marketing company. So they bought all of the diamond mines, De Beers. So they owned the entire market. Yeah, and did this thing, the shell company thing, to make it look like there was other players, but there wasn't. There was only one. And then what they did was, so there was nobody was buying diamonds. Engagement rings did not have diamonds in originally. They created it. So what they did was, when they had the entire market, they went, and you'll see this on this other video, they went, how can we sell more diamonds? Attach it to something emotional. And they attached it to engagements. It had never been before. This is in the 1920s or something. And what they did was they went and paid loads of celebrities to have photo shoots with their diamond rings as an engagement ring to start like a new trend. And it was like, that is the thing. And they managed to convince the entire world. And then they came up with the slogan, "Diamonds are forever." And they've been manipulating the market ever since then. So the corruption is deep, folks. The corruption is deep. It is everywhere. It's in everything. So yeah, feel free to watch these videos. Please do. Don't have to believe me. Believe these people. But yeah, they're all based on actual evidence, particularly the Panama Papers, which was a data leak, and it was like terabytes worth of data. And one particular bank that was mentioned was HSBC, who knowingly launder money for criminals. There's no if buts around about it. Because there's copies of memos between the companies that just say that they do and they don't care. So, yeah, well done, HSBC. They're also a fan of funding deforestation as well, I believe, HSBC. So they're right up there with the dogs, aren't they? You know what I mean? Yeah, and there's that. What was the other thing I was going to say? I just wanted to congratulate Harry on his new job. Putting the royal back in royals. Yes. You know what? His Royal Highness, the Duke of Sussex. Just want to say, I don't know you. I didn't know Princess Di, obviously. But just as a mum, she would be so proud of you. She really would. There's a case as well that's just come out, which is a student's just got 5k back from taking the university to court because of not getting a proper university experience, and they won it and they got 5k back. So I'll put a link into that. So any students anywhere, get on that bandwagon, get your money back. I mean, you've paid to go to uni and then you've not really had a university experience. You've only had online learning, if that, and you've not been, so in some cases you've not been able to stay in your halls and things like that. So there's a case, and if that sets a precedent, so you should be able to get your money back too. So I'll put in the links for that. What else was I going to say? I'm not really. I was really perky earlier. I'm not going to lie. I was dancing around, just having a gay old time, and then do you know what it was? Just a minute ago, I just caught a glimpse of the Myanmar situation. It just really upset me because there's a little 8-year-old girl that's died, that's been shot, and she's one of 20. And I just find the whole thing staggering. Like that, none of our Western countries that are capable and able and ready and financially stable have not sent anyone in to just get. It's only one map. Like, you don't forget about the rest of the army. Those fuckers will just give up as soon as you only need to get the one guy. Why has nobody done this? Like, he's just shooting people willy nilly. Oh, on that shooting note, just thinking about praying for the people who've lost their families in Colorado, where they had that shooting. Yeah. I can't stop caring. We shouldn't stop caring. Can't pretend it's not happening. There are many things, many going on, but they can be sorted. They can. They just can. So stay strong. We've got each other. It seems and is for many people very difficult at the minute. But change is coming. Don't lose hope. Don't lose faith. Just hold on. Believe in the best of people. Because they are there. And they are working hard. As much as there are people that are working against us, there are people that are working very hard to fix it. Oh, I watched I'm basically in constant conversation with the universe. I've said this before. Can't really describe it any other way than that. I'll just think something, and then I'll get a sign or a message or an email, or I'll change the channel and the answer will be there, or whatever it is. So it's just a constant flow. And I was watching, I flicked over and there's a program on detectives. Just salute, by the way, all of the frontline workers. I love you. Amazing. But yeah, there's a program on detectives, and there's a message in that, and I got it. First of all, police love you. Secondly, yeah, if you watch that, or the police that were in it, yeah, those people there that were in that program, that level there, that's tame. That's tame in comparison to what my ex was like. And then imagine that times about, if you include the two sides of his family and his acquaintances, it's about 1,000 people. And then you understand the level that I'm dealing with. If anyone saw that, you'll understand. But the police won't understand. So, just in a reflective mood, thinking, praying for everybody, praying for peace. It's coming. Rome wasn't built in a day. Anyway, I'm only going to be doing a short one today. So, I just want you to know that I'm thinking of you, or wherever you are. Oh, side note, sorry, just while I think about it. Oh my God, Matthew McConaughey, please be the governor of Texas. That'd just be the most epic thing ever. I watched the show that he had on Sunday. That was really good. I need to get back into my country music. I'm feeling that vibe right now. So yeah, sending big love to Texas. Hope you guys are okay. Big love to Australia. Flooding. But if everyone doesn't realise this is a divine intervention at this point, like, I don't know what will, to make us wake up and change our ways. Hopefully people will. At least the ones that need to, do you know what I mean? Because they need to. When the ones that are in charge are the most corrupt people, and they're the ones that are using the tax havens and the tax loops and meat sweets and looking after, all of this shenanigans, and then meanwhile the rest of the population burns, like, and we pay for them, we pay their salaries, and they're just fucking us over left, right, and centre. Like, there really are no words. And the NHS, obviously in different countries is different, but obviously here with NHS, and they're the ones that have been looking after everybody. They've done 1 million hours of overtime, most of which is unpaid, and haven't got a pay rise. Meanwhile, they've given themselves pay rises. They've given their mates contracts. They've spent billions of pounds just down the drain. I mean, how can we spend 500 million a day and borrow 1 billion? Where's the other 500 million going? Where is it going? What is that going on? That doesn't add up, does it? So yeah, but I don't want to get sweary. Oh, and sorry, here I go. See, look, we're going off on one now. I was going to tell, that was it. I had an idea about, I was talking about the problem with the kids in school, the sort of sexual harassment, and they're talking about porn and stuff like this and gang rape, which is just, what is even happening? Do you know what I had an epiphany? We should just, if they're going to think they're all big and clever talking about it, because they don't even know what they're talking about, I'm sure. I'm fucking hoping that they don't. And yeah, if they want to be all big and clever like that, so what we need to do is we need to show them the horror of what childbirth is, I think. Not the birds and the bees. We don't need to go into those depths there, yeah. You need to just go, right, this is the consequences. And then show them some real life birthing videos. That shit will scare the shit out of them. Do it at like 11. You know, when they're like, because these kids were talking about this in this video, and they were like talking about it when they're 13, or, you know, when I was saying they had this was the other last week on the virtual class where they had this like conversation on Instagram on their class screen where people were talking about gang rape, right? Yeah, that shit is outrageous. Show them some real life birthing videos. That'll fucking put them off, wouldn't it? And the other thing, you know, in Love Island, yeah. Love Island, they have to look after a baby. You know, the babies, like, toy babies with technology, and you have to protect, you know, feed them. And if you don't look after them properly, they're like, it's a computerized thing, right? So give them one of those. Give them all, boys and girls, right? Give them all one of those to have to as a homework for a week. But don't tell them and switch it on so it cries all the time, and they have to deal with it. After a week, then see how they feel. Do you know what I mean? Just give them a bit of dose of reality. I think that might change some minds. Because, you know, that's another thing. I remember when I was pregnant with my first child, nobody really tells you. They don't tell you the truth of what it's like. You know, because I don't want to scare you. But I mean, at this point, we need to be scaring people, I think. Well, not scaring them, but just telling them the truth. Because nobody told me the truth. They just sugarcoated it. And they're like, oh no, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. Please. My first son, yeah, he was £9.8. I pushed that fucker out. Sorry, I'm not going to say it's fucker. That's wrong. That angel. I pushed that angel out. £9.8 on my own with gas and air. I had a 2nd degree tear. And when it was bad. It was like 18 hours. It was hell. It was so bad. I was literally saying, I'd rather die. Keep him in there. No, I can't do this. Like, I was so bad. Like, I'm potty mouth as it is. And I was so rude. The next day, I felt like I needed to apologise. So I went down to the shop. I went and bought all the nurses gifts. Because I did not stop swearing the entire time I was there. And you know, his head came out. I swear to God, his head is the same size now at 8 as it was when it came out. That's what it felt like. I swear. Yeah, his head was huge. Oh, even thinking about it now, it brings tears to my eyes. And just know, I wanted it to be all serene. You know, when you're like planning your first birth, you're like, oh, I'll look up, you know, all the nice things like, oh, I want to have a water birth, and and I wanted to have it natural. No pain relief. Oh my God, did I regret it? Oi, £9.8. It just looked like a toddler when it came out. It was huge. It was huge. It was huge. It was enormous. And then everyone, and the other two after that, they were like shelling peas. And I remember my biology teacher, when I was my biology teacher when I was 11, Mrs. Bowdry. I remember her. I wonder how she is now. Mrs. Bowdry. I remember this so vividly. She said to us in our biology class, and this is like first day in senior school, she went, and I remember cringing. I was like, how can she be talking like this? It's so embarrassing. And we were talking, I think we were talking about reproduction or something. And she was like, girls, because I went to an all-girls Catholic school. Look at me, of course I did. She was like, girls, let me tell you a secret. That's how she said it. Let me tell you a secret. She went, what I like to do is when I go through, because you're talking about birth and stuff, and your pelvic floor. She's like, what I like to do is when I go to the toilet, I imagine I'm singing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star while I'm peeing, so I pee to Twinkle Twinkle Little Star to control her pelvic floor. She's like, it's never done me wrong, I've got a pelvic floor as strong as an ox and all this. I remember at the time thinking, what is this woman on about? This is like the first day of school. This is so cringy. But I still remember it now. It's obviously so many years later. And not only do I remember it, I also do it. And my pelvic floor is like it's like a brick wall. That fucker. But yeah. Oh, childbirth. But she does tell them the facts. You don't need to go into the nitty-gritty of sex. You just need to be like, this are the consequences. And show them some birthing videos of real awful ones, painful ones, to make them see the reality of it. Because Charlie, his head came out and it got stuck. It was so big, it got stuck. As I said, he lives like a toddler. So he came out, it got stuck, and then his shoulders wouldn't come out because he's broad-shouldered like a toddler. And they had to dislocate his shoulders to get him out, and then it was an emergency, and then they didn't know if I was going to have a C-section. They were like, don't get him out now. It'd gone blue. They were going to have to pull him back up and cut me out. I was like, ah. So yeah, eventually they had to use forceps and pull him out. But yeah, they had to dislocate his shoulders, life or death. And that's the reality of it. It's crazy, isn't it? And the most painful, well, at the time it was the most painful thing ever. But I don't know, that's how our bodies are built, aren't they? We're built to do that. We're built to withstand that pain. So, even though it was horrendous, the second your baby is born, you forget it. But yeah, doesn't matter how bad it is. The second your baby is born and put on your chest, you forget it like that. It's like it never happened. The second, it's like, what? It's a blur. Don't remember it. So you got a baby there. So the previous 18 hours of swearing and pain and sweating and looking like a beach whale, which was I look like one. That just kind of pales into insignificance. The worst bit, actually, I'm going to be honest with you, was afterwards when they were stitching me up because I had a 2nd-degree tear. He was stitching me up for so long. I was like, "What are you doing? A tapestry? Like, what, serious?" And then you stand up. As the other funny thing is, because I always put on loads of weight when I've had a baby, all 3 times, because I had £9.8 at 40 weeks, £9.3 at 38 weeks, because I was high risk because of Charlie, and then £8.7 at 37 weeks. So yeah, but the standing up afterwards, you know, when all your organs have been like pushed up here, and then you stand up for the first time after you've given birth, and you feel all your organs go, blah, blah, blah. Oh, it's crazy. So yeah, just fun for the kids. Hi guys, sharing some personal stories. But yeah, I thought that'd be that might be a way. So yeah, Soul Fam, another day has gone. We're still here, still surviving, still coming up with ideas, still sharing. Love you guys. Really hope that anyone that's suffering feels some peace.